Recount this. Yeah, is this screen visible? Yeah, last time we were discussing about the laminar flow of a forced convection through this pipe, and we assumed that there is, as the fluid flow across this pipe, the fluid at the same time gets heated up. So when it enters the pipe at z equal to 0, let's say it is having some temperature T naught, and when it leaves the pipe, that is at z equal to L, it has some temperature. So we need to determine the temperature profile in this system. The velocity profile is same as that we have developed in your momentum distribution, that is Vz is equal to delta P by 4 mu L r square into that parabolic function of r. Also, at the same time, we assumed that the heat transfer is being under, you know, in a unidirectional convection and two-dimension conduction. Unidirectional convection means along the velocity profile, along the axis, the velocity, heat is being transferred under the effect of convection, and along the radial direction, it is being under the effect of your conduction process. So these were the different energy fluxes which we assumed. Then we derived this relation that a rate of energy in minus energy out is equal to plus generation is accumulation. So there was no generation, under steady state accumulation is 0. So we determined the profile, that is this equation. Now this was the part of the convection in the z direction, this is the conduction in the radial direction, and this is the conduction in the z direction. Then based upon the Peclet number, now Peclet number is basically the ratio of the convective flux to your molecular flux. Now based upon a specific case where the Peclet number is, much less than 1, so we determined, so we ignored this conduction in the z direction. So what we did is, we took the convection in the axial direction, that is in the z direction, and the conduction is in the radial direction. So we took this case, and we have this equation with us from here. And then we determine the bulk temperature, and based upon the bulk temperature for the two different cases, that is constant wall temperature and constant heat flux condition, we determined respectively the temperature profiles. For constant wall temperature conditions, the profile is of this shape, that is the bulk temperature or the bulk fluid which is there in the pipe. The temperature vary across exponentially varies across the pipe, the length of the pipe, and this is the expression of that. Whereas in the case of the radial direction, whereas in the case of heat flux direction, under constant wall temperature, constant heat flux at the wall, that is at R equal at the wall of the pipe, there is a constant heat flux condition. So the temperature, the bulk temperature or the temperature of the fluid which is flowing in the pipe varies linearly along the length, and the expression is given by this particular thing, and this is the expression. Now, this is what we determined last time. Now we were discussing about, there you can also convert these standard relations or the temperature profile in terms of the dimensionless number, that is Nusselt number, and also number and Prandtl number. Now there's a very simple thing which you must have started in your heat transfer, that determine. So can you tell me the value of the Nusselt number when we have constant wall temperature conditions and when we have constant heat flux conditions? What is the value of the Nusselt number in these cases? So under constant wall temperature conditions, the Nusselt number is 3.66. That is the minimum value of the Nusselt number is 3.66 for a specific fluid of water. And for constant heat flux conditions, the Nusselt number is 4.36. So today what we do is we're going to determine this expression, that how does this value come into picture, that the Nusselt number and the Nusselt number of the fluid for a fluid which is flowing under heat flux conditions, constant heat flux condition, it comes out to be considerations. So this question normally appears in many of the Viva questions, interview questions, or even in the GATE exam also. That what is the value of the minimum value of the Nusselt number of the fluid which is flowing in a pipe under laminar forced convection if the wall is maintained under constant heat flux condition or if the wall is maintained under constant wall temperature conditions. So what are these values? So you should be familiar with these numbers. So let's determine them. Okay. Let me remove this all. Okay. Now we have already developed an expression which is m dot Cp dTv by dz is equal to 2 pi r into k into dt by dr at r equal to r. So you can refer to this expression which we have already determined in the previous lecture. Now for constant heat flux conditions, at QR at R equal to at the wall, heat flux at the wall is nothing but TW minus TB, which is basically a constant. Now, since the wall is thermally developed, since we have for thermally developed system, thermally developed flow, the H is constant. So therefore, TW minus TB will be some sort of a constant. So we can say that dt by dz is same as dtw by dz is same as dtb by dz under thermally developed. That is the temperature drop. That is the temperature difference. Tw minus tb is a constant throughout the pipe. So then we can say that dt by dz, that is the temperature gradient in any given position in the pipe, is same as dw by dz is equal to dtb by dz. So therefore, since qr at r equal to capital R is k dt by dr at r equal to r, which is again a constant qw. Now this can be written as qw as a constant. Therefore, dt by dz is same as dtv by dz, and from here, from this expression, we can find out dtb by dz, which will, and also dt by dr at r equal to r can be calculated from here. So we can substitute both this expression over here, and from here we can find out the value of dtv by dz. So if you put dt by dr at r equal to capital R as qw by k and substitute over here. So 2 pi r can be written as pi d into k into qw by k. K gets cancelled up, so it is pi d into qw. And what is the expression of dtb by from here? That will be pi d qw by m dot Cp, which is again, all these terms are constants. Now, what is the expression of Nusselt number? Now, Nusselt number is hd by k, and from here we can find out what is h. So h can be written as qw by tw minus tb. So we can substitute that expression of Nusselt expression of heat transfer coefficient over here. So which will be qw by tw by tb into d by k. So therefore, dt by dz, which is equal to pi d qw by m dot cp, and m dot cp. I have a class. pi d QW by rho into average velocity into pi r square, that is the mass transfer, into Cp, which can be written as again constant. So from this expression, we can find out QW in terms of your Nusselt number. So it will be Nusselt number into K into TW minus TB over D. So we have the expression of QW. Now we're going to substitute this expression of QW into this expression. So dt by dz will be pi d. QW will be replaced by this expression, pi d by rho average velocity into pi r square Cp into Nusselt number K into TW minus TB over D. So this pi gets cancelled up with this we cancel up with this. So we have your expression of temperature gradient in terms of your Nusselt number, which is into K over rho average velocity into r square into C. So we have this expression of your Nusselt number. Now, if we recall, for Peclet number less than 1, the convection part in the z-axis, that is rho Cp Vz into dt by dz, and the conduction part in the radial direction. So this was the convection in z direction, and this is the conduction in radial direction. So Vz was to average velocity into 1 minus r by capital R whole square. We're going to substitute this expression over here. At the same time, we're going to substitute the expression of dt by dz in terms of Nusselt number over here. So upon substituting, we have 2 rho Cp average velocity into 1 minus r by capital R whole square into dt. So that is Nusselt number Tw by Tb K over rho average velocity into r square into Cp K by R del by del R del d by del R. So this K gets cancelled up with this K. This average velocity gets cancelled with this one. Density gets cancelled up with density. Cp gets cancelled up with Cp. So what we are left with is 2 by r square into 1 minus r by capital R whole square into Nusselt number into Tw minus Tb into 1 by r del by del r del d by del r. Now this expression will be solved if we take a dimensionless term. So let's solve this thing. Now for dimensionless term, what we do is we represent zeta as small r by capital R, and we take theta as t minus tb, t minus tb over tw minus tb. So let's convert this expression in terms of a dimensionless number. So let's see how to convert this thing. So 2 by r square, small r can be written as r this thing. So 1 minus r square zeta square over r square into Nusselt number into TW minus TB. 1 by R can be again R zeta, del by R, so zeta, oh sorry, not zeta, R, because R is constant, so del zeta, R can be R into zeta. Now T, from here T can be written as TW minus TB into theta. So T can be written as TW minus TB into theta, and dt can be written as TW minus TB into d theta. So dt can be written as this expression. So del theta over R del theta into TW minus TB. So this is how you convert your entire expression in terms of dimension. Now TW minus TB, TW minus TB is there on the both sides, gets cancelled up. This R gets cancelled up with this. Now we have R and R. So we have R square, which goes with this. And what else we have? Okay, so what we are left with is basically, and this R gets cancelled up with this R. So what we are left with is 2 into Nusselt number into 1 minus zeta square is equal to 1 over zeta del by del zeta into zeta del theta by del theta. So we have converted our expression in terms of your dimension. Now this entire expression is in terms of dimensionless term. Now let's try to solve this by using the boundary condition. The boundary conditions were very simple. That is at r equal to 0. So we have del theta by del zeta, that was 0. That is, so that when zeta is 0, so we have this term. And when at the center, this was basically at the center and at the wall, so we have theta is equal to 1, because at the wall the temperature will be TW. So TW minus TB over TW minus TB, theta will be 1. Let's try to solve this expression. So if you solve this thing, what we have is, let's try to solve this. So you can take this zeta over here. So 2 Nusselt number into zeta minus zeta cube del by del theta, zeta del theta by del theta. So integrate this thing. So what we have is 2 Nusselt number into zeta square by 2 minus zeta 4 by 4 plus some constant C1. So if you use your first boundary condition, that zeta equal to 0, d theta. So what we have is, we have C1 is 0. So C1 is 0. So zeta del theta by del theta is equal to twice the Nusselt number zeta square by 2 minus zeta 4 by 4. Now again integrate it and get your theta will be Nusselt number into, okay, now this zeta is there, this gets cancelled up with this, so this is del theta by del theta into twice. So 2 can be taken out, so this 2 can be taken out, this 2 cancels up with this, so we have Nusselt number zeta minus zeta cube by 2. Right. Now again, if we integrate this term, so theta can be Nusselt number zeta square by 2 minus zeta 4 by 8 plus C2. So now we use the second boundary condition, that is when theta is 1, theta is 1. So from here we have the value of C2. C2 is 1 minus 3 Nusselt number by 8. So upon substituting back, so we have theta as an expression of 1 minus Nusselt number by 8 into 3 minus 4 zeta square plus zeta 4. So we have the theta expression, pure theta expression in terms of your Nusselt number. So if you substitute this back over here, rearrange it, and we're going to end up with this expression of your theta in terms of your Nusselt number. Now, when we talk about, now what is theta? Theta is T minus TB over TW minus TB. Clear? And when we talk about bulk temperature, so what will be, that will be theta B. So T will be TB. So which comes out to be 0. So at the bulk temperature, this expression, the numerator term is 0. So that means theta B is 0. So now what is a bulk temperature? So bulk temperature is nothing but your Vz into T into R into dr by dr over the specific over the volume 0 to 2 pi and 0 to R, 0 to 2 pi and 0 to R. So whatever the temperature that will get, that will be the bulk temperature. So what will be theta B from here? Now theta B will be nothing but the expression which is this expression equal to 0, because the denominator, because it's a numerator by denominator is equal to bulk temperature, and bulk temperature is equal to 0. So that means the numerator part is equal to 0. So the numerator part is basically nothing but your this expression of in terms of dimensionless, that is theta zeta is equal to 0, integrated from 0 to 1, because 0 to R, so 0 to R, that means zeta is 0 to 1. So now this expression of theta can be substituted over here. So let's substitute the expression of theta. So I'm writing the expression of theta over here, substitute this back over here, and let's do the integration to find out the value of your Nusselt number, required Nusselt number. So let's 0 to 1, 1 minus zeta square, theta expression, 1 minus Nusselt number by 8, 3 minus 4 zeta square plus zeta 4 into zeta into d zeta equal to 0. Now you can open up the entire expression and integrate. So 1 minus zeta square minus 0 to 1. The Nusselt number by 8 can be taken out. So it will be 1 minus zeta square into 3 minus 4 zeta square plus zeta 4 into zeta into zeta. So let's integrate this term first. So this upon integration comes out to be zeta minus zeta cube into zeta, Nusselt number by 8. This entire expression, if you multiply, open up, so it will end up as zeta 5, 3 zeta 3, zeta 5, 7, d zeta is equal to 0. Now integrate it. So upon integration, this will be zeta square by 2, zeta 4 by 4, 0 to 1, Nusselt number by 8. So we have 3 zeta square by 2 minus 4, zeta 4 by 4 plus zeta 6 by 6 minus zeta 4 by 4 minus zeta 8 by 8 equal to 0, and put the limit 0 to 1. So if you put the limits, so that will be 1 by 2 minus 1 by 4 minus Nusselt number by 8. So we have 3 by 2 minus 1 plus 1 by 6 minus 3 by 4 plus 4 by 6 minus 1 by 8 equal to 0. So we have 1 by 4, Nusselt number by 8, and what will be the value of this? Let's find out with the help of calculator the expression, the value of this. So this will be 3 by 2 minus 1 plus 1 by 6 minus 3 by 4 plus 4 by 6 and by 8. So this is 11 by 24. 0. So Nusselt number from here comes out to be 8 into 24 by 4 into 11. So this comes out to be 48 by 11. And what is 48? How much is 48 by 11? So it is 4.363. So this is the expression of, this is the value of the Nusselt number, that is 4.364 under constant wall flux, under constant wall heat flux conditions. Clear? And similarly, for constant wall temperature conditions, the Nusselt number is constant wall temperature conditions. The Nusselt number is 3.66. So remember these values of Nusselt number. That is for constant heat flux conditions, it is 4.36, and for constant wall temperature, it is 3. So similarly, we can derive the expression for wall temperature also. Clear? So this is how you get your constant heat flux condition, the value of your Nusselt number under constant heat flux conditions. Clear? Now, anything else you want to ask, you can ask.